Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Justice League Cry for Justice, issue number 3 of 7. Painted cover from the interior artist. I believe it's Mauro Cascioli. I believe that's how you say it. Written by James Robinson. Yeah, this is what you also get in the inside. I like the art a lot. I like painted stuff. And yeah, this looks great. This is with Prometheus. He's the villain of the story, I think. We see him in here, but yeah, maybe here's the film. Who knows? Because I'm only 3 issues in. This feels more like an in-between book, but it's not really that bad, by the way. So anyway, we have our heroes, and they are very. It's not that they are deflected from the Justice Society. They want to, have revenge, justice, if you will, and then that word is also oft being used here in this book. Well, not in this series, I mean, which is, in my opinion, very on the nose. So, Hal Jordan is greeting Supergirl, and he asks if she is a villain or a hero, and it makes her very upset. And Ollie is saying that he is very insensitive, and I think, dude, Ollie, Green Arrow, he is one of the most insensitive guys, in my opinion. And so he said, hey, you're doing all right, kid. No worries, right? And then even Freddy says, I certainly sense no harm in here. But then Adam says, well, is that the wisdom of Solomon or the hormones of a teenager? He says, well, that's not very nice. And Adam apologizes, but Freddy admits that, I believe this is Freddy, right? I have to admit, she's pretty. Well, she is, yeah. Anyway, it seems this is, I believe, coming after the Supergirl series. I did a couple of issues of that series. It's okay. It's getting a little bit worse at the end of that series. The beginning is great, but then it just drops down in quality real quick. Anyway, her father died by a guy called Reactron. Basically, she wants justice, right? Because she wants to find the truth behind her father's murder. Okay. Good. So they say, we want Prometheus, and Hal Jordan is just not sure what's going on, if he can trust her or knows what's happening, because everyone now has something, some person that they loved or, that has died or missing, and they all want justice, including these two. We have these Golden Gorilla and one of the Starmen. I believe this was one of the original Starmen. I believe there was, if I'm counting it correctly, around 5 Starmen now. And the Starman from the GSA is gone. His son is not sure if he's still alive. There is also another Starman, but Mikhail here, Mikhail, which doesn't sound very alien, but probably, like John Johns, right? Something like that. Anyway, so they are talking about their motivations about getting revenge, getting justice. Meanwhile, Prometheus is getting tortured by the atom inside his skull, and he wants to talk. How did they get Prometheus? I don't know, I forgot. Did that happen in the last issue? Or not? Anyway, so Ollie says, hey, are we even the good guys here? But, Hal doesn't listen because, right, he says it doesn't matter. Because of, Bruce's death and John's death. He wants to have that justice, just like the Atom. And he doesn't feel bad for this murderer because that's what he is. So Hal Jordan interrogates him, sort of. He's just asking him questions, not really interrogation, in my opinion. Although he just maybe it's some kind of interrogation. But he says, you're a second raider. How did you getting all of those villains at your beck and call? But that he says, if you don't answer, I'm gladly going back to your skull and do some damage there. He says, no, Prometheus wants to be Batman. So that was my first sign that something is wrong, because he is talking to him in the third person. And why is it so dark suddenly in here? Just give me a second. There's still plenty of light outside, but somehow, I don't know. It seems that there's light problems. So they say, hey, Too late, man. The cow's taken. Come on, Prometheus. Is that all you got for us? I was speaking in metaphors. Well, they don't like that answer, and they probably go back to torture him if he's not going to answer their questions. He says, so he asks again, how did you do what you do? How did you get everyone to come here to Gotham at your bidding? He says, abject fear. Prometheus calls you answer. He said, so all he says, nah, man. He said, even Javelin is a bigger name than you. It's not really true. So he says, you give us more than that. Say what you want. I had them shaking in their boots. I hadn't been on that scene for more than a little while before I created a network of, well, terror. I say is the right word. I would say, it's the right word. Engelman said he'd flay his granny if I told him so, and she's a sweet old girl whose pumpkin pies to die for, apparently. So Hal says, no, man, who are you trying to fool? You're nothing. You certainly couldn't all of this orchestrated this slaughter. Why you steal a cosmic treadmill, from heaven's sake? The time pool? I don't know what the time pool is, by the way. I know the treadmill, the flashes equipment to go back and forth in time. What are you hoping to do? He says, Batman. So he basically says, actually, you have green powers, and she's some alien super pinup. The other one skips through atoms. They all have powers except Batman, right? He's this normal guy. But somehow, you held him in such high regard, which is a polite way of saying he's scared the snot out of at least some of you. I like that answer. It's true. Prometheus is the same, and they don't like it that he's speaking him, to himself in the third person. Meanwhile, it seems that Mikael and the Golden Gorilla is getting attacked by someone? I don't know, robots? Who knows? And it looks great. I'll say the art looks stunning. I really enjoyed looking at it. Very fun. And they do a lot of damage, and I'm not sure if these are aliens. I mean, although they look alive, but it could also be robots. Who knows? But and Mikael is using his power from his chest to do energy blast. I'm not sure. I said my knowledge about this Starman is not that great. I mean, I like. That's the reason that I picked a lot of obscure side characters. I want to know more about them. I'm curious. I'm not really interested in gorillas in general. Just like Gorilla Grodd, yeah, he has a good Flash villain, but other than that, the whole Gorilla City, I'm not sure. Probably because I don't like apes in general very much, that I'm not very interested in, these creatures at all. Not sure why. Anyway, so Mika says, hey, you can fly. And so I said, do you have any super strength? And he says, yeah, but I cannot, carry you because he's way too heavy. So he says, well, I swim to the shore. So what are you going to do? The backstroke. Okay, that made me chuckle for a second. Meanwhile, we go back to the interrogation, right? You still told us nothing, Prometheus, apart from self-aggrandizing Batman analogies. So again, Hal is asking the same questions. Why steal all that technology at the cost of good men's lives? Oh, well, why? I will say this. Prometheus summoned the other villains here to lure as many heroes as could be attracted at once. So, all right. And then Freddy says, hey, something is changing. He says, I'm sorry, everyone. Prometheus said he killed my son, Cass. He made me take this shape. Then the Ring says to Jordan, says, hey, a bomb has been primed. I said, all right. And so it's one of the clay faces. And I thought to myself, what? What did I miss? What do you mean, one of the clay faces? I thought there was only one. Did I miss a particular storyline or something? Probably, because the DC, I hate the word universe, but is so big with so many stories, I cannot keep up with them at all. I mean, it's just too big, right? It's too many stories. All right. And yeah, and the explosion, man, and this looks so good. Look at all this buildings, all been drawn and painted. Yeah, it looks great. It looks actually really good. And then we go to Prometheus with, he has a henchman called Quimby. And He says, we're close to being finished. It's been a long road, Prometheus. It'll be nice to take a break from everything. I'll reward you soon and you can be on your way. He says, you can reward me in a different way. I need knowledge. All right, says, well, follow me in my chambers. So this is probably one of the apes that's been, I don't know, come from Gorilla City. I believe I'm assuming. And basically this is the origin, or Prometheus talks about his origin. So he starts at the beginning that he's basically reverse Batman. I mean, there's a lot of reverse Batman stories. Well, this is a little bit similar to the other reverse Batman characters. He grew up in, well, not in poverty, but in a rich environment, and his parents were villains or bad people, and they get shot by police, and therefore, he turns to crime. Basically, that's the short gist, right? I fought the Justice League, and doing so took my first misstep. I was undone and sent to a place from which no one thought I'd return. He also talked about that there's an imposter, posing him as well, tried to be him, and he killed him for that. He says, I want revenge on the superhero community as a whole. I want them to feel pain, true pain. Now, I could go to door, killing them one by one. But once you kill a few, the thrill and satisfaction you might imagine fades. And death can mean nothing. He says that to a lot of superheroes, death is a revolving door, which is true. I mean, how many times Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern came back from the death? No, I had truly hurt these heroes, hits them in their hearts, the way my parents' slaughter affected me. And then the idea came to me. I began by gathering the science, having others do my bidding in America to hide my goals and involvement for the time being. So he went to Europe and, I don't know, doing more terror, I guess, for reasons, killed, superheroes called the Global Guardians. Not sure why he's doing it. Probably stealing technology. That's what I think. So, you admiring my rug? Yeah, I was wondering what animal it was. It isn't. It's one of those guardians I mentioned. The Tasmanian devil. Idiot named himself after an endangered animal anyway. Looks great. Yeah, I like this monochromatic coloring here. So he says... Anyway, from Europe to Africa and a gorilla in hiding who gave me more of the science needed. Meanwhile, my foot soldiers in America got me the other toys, the cosmic treadmill, the time pool. Star Labs had some technology from a distant planet named Ran. From a beam of transportation. All of this to the ends that we've worked towards. And now, a toast to the future. What do you say, Quimby? I like toffee apples. You real rewards that I spared your life, but you know too much. But you do know too much to walk away from this. The wine is laced with chemical agents that have caused your brain to regress to that of an infant. Now you have the fun of relearning everything, including toilet training from the smell of you. Here's to your handiwork, Professor IQ. Here's to you. God bless you, in fact. And God help America. I like this, that he's smashing this bottle of this glass of wine onto the floor, making some kind of a statement. I like Prometheus. There was a 90s book, just the GSA, was great, by the way. There was also, in the first couple of 6 issues, I believe, white Martians attacked the Justice Society, posing them as heroes, which was really cool. And then later Prometheus infiltrated the GLA headquarters as a superhero, which he in fact murdered, but then took his identity. Almost took out the whole league. But it didn't work. But still. And from that time on, although I think his costume is somewhat not really that cool, not ridiculous or something, but this knightly helmet is But on the other hand, why not, right? I mean, it's just, who cares? Meanwhile, we go to Opal City. We have the Shade here, and I do not know this guy. I know him from somewhere, but I cannot put my finger in it or something. And this truthsayer says there is death coming to Opal City. It will touch your lives and many, many others. And then we see all the heroes that probably get involved in this. Now, I recognize mostly all of them, except for this one. I do not know who this is. Maybe you know it, but I do not. If you know, please leave a comment. And then we're going to continue into the next issue. We have also more information about Prometheus, how it all started, right? It's not really an origin, although we see an origin story here. I'm going to show you this first, right? About, how Federico Dallocchio, art and colors. Our art looks great. So it seems that he is just like Dr. Doom. He's going to, I don't know, what's this? Tibet. Search of the ancient mystical kingdom of evil known as Shambhala. So some kind of a master, old Lama, gave him a key that could unlock the spaces between dimensions. And there, in the so-called ghost zone, the young man built his crooked home. In his hidden sanctuary, the young man designed and built a unique costume and helmet that enable him to download whatever information he might ever needed directly into his mind. Then, consider himself more than suitable armed, the man now called Prometheus set out to destroy the Justice League. And these are the storylines. Yeah, great stuff. I like Prometheus. We're going to see where this is going eventually. So this is, I know, another book. Who cares? Like I said, it's more like an in-between book, but we got a little bit more insight of the motivations of the villain of this story. And we're going to see if he can repeat what he did to the Justice League, kill this, spin-off group of superheroes from the Justice League. Yeah, we'll see. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.